Wind's picking up and starting to rain a little bit. I thought I'd pull over and you know, take a look at Colorado. Colorado sure is gorgeous. I was going to tell you a little bit about myself. You know, how this all came about at a scenic location. So, but I don't know if even the audio will work. What's cool is that there's some whitewater rafters going by. That was awesome. I had a great job in the television industry. Really amazing job. But 20 years of bad decisions. You know, I was addicted to drugs and alcohol, and I ended up on the streets of Hollywood Boulevard. That was 15 years ago. I rebuilt my life back to a 780 credit score in a 3-bedroom house. That was about 5-6 years ago. And about 3 years ago, this thing called the economy really took a crapper. And lost my job, got a job, laid off, got a job, laid off. Eventually, the house was foreclosed on. After over a year of unemployment, living off my credit cards, so now I have extreme debt. I was close to homelessness again. In November of 08, I started InvisiblePeople.tv. I didn't really think anything would come of it. It was something that I'd been wanting to do for a long time, and to be quite honest, I was just sick of applying for work, and this gave me a purpose. I also, being a nonprofit television producer for a long time, I'd been telling people stories, but it was always spun. And I don't mean spun in a bad way, I mean it was always the truth. It always had an agenda, fundraising or something. So I started just putting up videos, raw, unedited. And it wasn't like that was a conscious plan. At the time, my computer couldn't edit the videos. It had a 5400 hard drive, and you know, you just couldn't. So you know, looking back, if I could, probably InvisiblePeople.tv might not have taken off because it would have had a music bed and nice graphics. So I just started putting videos of homeless people I met up on the internet. And then I started using social media, Twitter primarily, Facebook, and it wasn't that it was a strategy and I'm gonna be the social media dude. It was free, it was all I had. I mean, that was it. I took $45, pretty much all the money I had left, this laptop, an iPhone, and this camera, and InvisiblePeople.tv was born a little over 2 years ago. So my first road trip was also insane. I was just thinking somehow the last bit of miles that this is really nuts. So I had $300. I was sitting at home. I wanted to go to Sacramento. Oprah had gone into Sacramento, did a story. Then all of a sudden, CNN went and MSNBC, and that just pretty much forced the government to bulldoze a tent city and start moving a tent city. And it was in the news, but nobody was telling their story. So my first road trip was up to Sacramento, and it was a huge risk. I mean, I was about 19 months unemployment. I should have stayed home, kept on looking for work, but I said, you know, 19 months I haven't found any work anyways. So that was my first road trip, and people started noticing. People started paying attention. People started twittering back saying, how can we support you? How can we help you? And that, you know, that really was the fuel. When I get a tweet that says, hey man, keep on going, and you know, gosh, you changed my perceptions, or I went to the park and I hung out with homeless people that's the fuel that keeps me going. A couple other things happened. America's Next Top Model. I got started getting a lot of traffic. If you're a geek, you're always looking at the traffic at your website. So America's Next Top Model has this forum, and you know, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to know Beauty and the Beast, homelessness and models. So I click on it, and there was a girl. She wrote, "I used to think homeless people were bums until I went to invisiblepeople.tv, and now I know they're real people." And I get little signs like that. So last year, I got this crazy idea, drive around the country, 11,263 miles. I drove around the country, and actually, real change happened. In Baton Rouge, there's 50 homeless kids that didn't have shoes, and an hour later, thanks to the social media network, they had brand new shoes. In Fayetteville, Arkansas, housing programs were started, feeding programs. A farmer donated 40 acres of land to feed the poor, and they're now harvesting crops. That's amazing. So the road trip just started. You caught me on a drive day, July 24th, and I don't know how well. I'm about 180 miles outside of Denver. I just stopped for a second to do a little soundbite for you. Rest my ass, because my ass is hurting. I don't know, gosh, I've been in the car for about 5 hours now. So this is my life today, July 24th, and thank you for joining me. Let's get back in the car and get on to Denver.